Okay, welcome again to another edition of SE2Gamers.com video replay. Today we're going to talk about a Thor rush. In this particular Thor rush, the setup is a 1 versus 1 Terran versus Protoss. This is a random game of, I believe, the Silver or Gold League. And essentially the Thor rush is all about getting the Thor out as fast as possible. Probably within the first 7+ minutes. So today we're going to be using Super Twish, and the enemy is Mr. Tom himself, a Protoss. The initial build out for the Thor rush requires a lot of gas, like most mech units. So we're going to go and utilize and create about 10 SCVs. As you create 10 SCVs, we instantly build out a refinery, and of course at the same time build out a supply depot to block the ramp. Now in this type of map there are actually 2 entrances. The other entrance leads to a area where you can expand, and there's some protection with rocks being covered. So as I continue to build out and add in additional refineries, I also build out a factory by 349. You could actually make it go faster if you are actually focusing and adding in no tech labs. So I built in a second refinery. Go ahead and actually upgrade the Marauder. I'm going to be clicking into the research concussive shells just so I could slow down any opponents. Also the factory, and also the armory. And now I'm building additional supply depots just to kind of slow down that ramp. Now you'll notice this Protoss player is pretty good. He's doing an initial sea-lot rush and then backing it up with stalkers. Initially you would probably die off if you didn't have any didn't have sufficient force to fight that individual out. But you notice the Thor came out right in time, and I put in SCVs to repair him. I've added in 1 Marine, that's right, 1 Marine to this particular Thor, and now he goes and takes on the Protoss base. Now this is pretty funny. As he takes on the Protoss base, he basically knocks out every single person that challenges him. The stalkers, no problem. Sea-lots, no problem. Bots, no problem. You'll notice I have an SCV constantly healing him. By this time, it's game over. He has no other choice but to surrender. Now what would be really dangerous if there's another Thor that would be coming about. If you were able to pull it off because your enemy didn't attack you soon enough and you have free resources, you would be able to bring another Thor to the table and knock out or add some additional firepower to your initial Thor rush. So we have 1 Thor against a gold player that is a pretty decent Protoss. And as you saw initially, he came out to the back ramp, which I did expect. They created some resistance there. But he was able to go through that and take out my initial support team, which was a Marauder and a few Marines. But the moment Thor was out, and then I added in the SCVs that I had to support and repair Thor, it was game over. Mr. Tom himself, the Protoss player, wasn't able to recover, and I managed to go to his base and knock out everything else. So, once again, a good example of a Thor rush that, given additional SCVs to repair, it's almost impossible to defeat within the first 7 or 8 or 9 minutes of the game. So, hope you enjoyed that. You can see more replays at SE2Gamers.com.